Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Cuz You Don't Know Football. Guys, we got another exciting episode for y'all today. I can't wait to get back to it. Listen, we're approaching the season a little bit by a little bit. It started. Listen, you can see it on my skin. Like it's now hot out here in New York. You know what I'm saying? It's now hot. Yeah, I mean, we in there now. Yeah, man, let's get right into it. So today we're going to talk about this whole episode is about top fives, just top fives. So I'm gonna tell you. So I'm gonna read off some things that, like for instance, offensive lines. So I'm not going in depth in terms of like specific offensive linemen at each position group. Just not gonna get in all that. It's just a lot. You know what I mean? But we're gonna talk about offensive line rankings, defensive rankings. I'm gonna give you my favorite pass rushers. I'm gonna give you my favorite quarterbacks. I'm gonna give you my favorite wide receivers and wide receiver groups. And we're gonna get into this thing. We're gonna get right into this thing. So, this is why I want to do offensive, or this is why I want to do top fives. I wanted you guys to have a little bit of insight in terms of how I may think about things, just so when you see me as we grow together, you're gonna see how I might think about things and what I'm starting to see. I'm loving what I did with the camera. I don't even know what the hell I did with the camera right now, but I'm not mad at it. But we're gonna start with that. Let's talk about some offensive line rankings. All right. So PFF has the top five offensive line rankings as the Denver Broncos, number one, the Baltimore Ravens, number two, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, number three, the Buffalo Bills, number four, and the Detroit Lions, number five. They don't have the Eagles in there. So if I was putting it now, some of this stuff, offensive lines are one thing that rolls over pretty quickly. There's always the teams that always have great offensive lines, but then there's teams that kind of roll over it. So Denver, I'm not sure if they have the best offensive line in football. You see what I'm saying? I'm not sure, but that's what the prevailing thought is. So I'll put them on there, but it's hard for me to leave off the Philadelphia Eagles in terms of offensive lines. That's what they've built themselves on the last couple of years. Detroit Lions being at number five, that's another team that has built their success on offensive lines. Tampa Bay would probably be the team I'm the most curious about. I don't know what their offensive line really is. They're in the AFC South. Now I was actually just having this thought. I was walking back the other day. I was walking. I said, the AFC South ever got a quarterback excuse me, the NFC South. If the NFC South ever got a quarterback in there and the head coach or the same team, you're looking at the new New England Patriots, um, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady looking situation because the division is so weak. The NFC South is so weak, but I digress on that. I'm not going to stay too much on that. But offensive lines this year, once again, going into the 2025 season, they have Denver, uh, Baltimore Ravens, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Buffalo Bills, Detroit Lions, and I'm still not convinced the Philadelphia Eagles don't have at least one of the top five offensive lines. So I'm going to leave them in there. All right, so then I'll go top five wide receiver groups. Now, here's my thought about wide receiver groups. Traditionally, you're having the best wide receiver or wide receiver group. It's hard to translate it to team success because so much is needed for the wide receiver to do what they do, that usually the price tag to have that wide receiver is more than a team can handle when they're not on their rookie contract. So if teams can roll on there, if they get like three rookie wide receivers that are just crazy, okay, you know what I mean? I might go with that. But either way, I'll just read them off. So at number five, they have the Los Angeles Rams. Number four, they have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number three, they have the Minnesota Vikings. Number two, they have the Philadelphia Eagles, and number one, of course, the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I think the Rams actually, now as a group, now that third wide receiver may not be as strong, but as a group, I mean Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. I mean, we'll see. I mean, unless you're telling me Devontae Adams is taking steps back, I'm not believing it. I just think that he was on a bad team. That's really my thought on Devontae Adams. But Listen, man, that group is they gonna be lethal. Now the Bucks, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans still having that position. Um, we gotta see. This is why we were projecting these kind of things going into the season. We gotta see it. But if they do have a top five wide receiver core and a top five offensive line, this is why they've been making the playoffs the last couple of years. So that's here nor there. The Minnesota Vikings. Now, I think what they're really saying is Jordan Addison is not elite yet, but Justin Jefferson is one of the top two wide receivers in the NFL. Now, I would put them closer to five than three. That's my opinion. I would put the Minnesota Vikings closer to five than three, but I don't think that there's a wide receiver group that is really in contention to take them out of the top five. The Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, um, having AJ Brown, Devontae Adams. They also got the guy from the Commanders. Not going to remember his name right now. Dotson. There it is. And they also got Dotson. So yeah, as a group, I mean, so one thing that I love about this new generation is they're defying they're defying what the rules were, and I always appreciate that. Like I remember switching to another sport, the Golden State Warriors shooting all the threes. The predominant thought was you win by the three, you lose by the three. But no teams were winning the championship shooting threes. And then they, what I mean, won. Now all the teams are shooting threes, so they defied. That would be the team that I'm using as a comparison. The Eagles having won a Super Bowl, having boasting one of the top two wide receiver groups is impressive, and it's something new and it's refreshing, and I'm happy to be watching it. But the Cincinnati Bengals, man, with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, I mean, transparently, when they were talking contract talks with T. Higgins, I was like, can we get T. Higgins out of Cincinnati? Can we get him over here on my team? That's here nor there. Now I am curious though, what does this mean? Signing all of them to um, signing two wide receivers to number one wide receiver contracts. I am curious what that means for the team success for the Cincinnati Bengals because they've never gotten the offensive line right. That defense is poor. I'm hoping that the decision to retain all of those wide receivers um, does not bite them in the ass because transparently, I kind of think they should have let both wide receivers slide. I know y'all gonna kill me in the comments for saying that, but they got entirely too many holes, and they need to patch up this offensive line. And Trey Henderson is like, I mean, he's got to get paid again. You've got too many holes. That's my opinion. I expect them to slide back some. I would love to see them be successful and me be wrong, but this would be the place where I'm saying I'm probably not going to be wrong here. Cincinnati Bengals are going to suffer from that. So where the Eagles did it in a way where the rest of the team and the rest of the roster was still intact, and they have a whole bunch of young talent to support having those high paid wide receivers. The Cincinnati Bengals does not have that, and the rest of their roster stinks. They got they got they got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Trey Hendrickson, and everything else is like forgettable. Everything else is forgettable, but I digress. You know what? I want to see if I really feel like even there's another team that can jump up into that might even be able to jump up into it. Now, I would say the Houston Texans would be a team that could jump up into it, but with Tank Dell being out, I don't know, his career is in shambles, but I'm not sure about them any longer. But Detroit having Amon St. Brown and Jameson Williams, that would be a team that also I think they're in that keep an eye on them. They might be able to take Tampa Bay maybe out of the top five wide receiver course. That team they have a really nice wide receiver. I'm not gonna lie to you. And as much as I want to put the Dolphins there, I just don't like it's just gonna look bad to me. It's just gonna look bad to me. I don't know. I want to hear what you guys think about the Miami Dolphins and their wide receiver core. coming into the 2025 season, but it's not really. I just don't feel anything's going to work out right. Their offensive line sucks. Tua is still one good hit away from his career being over. God, please protect him. Please protect him. The defense is in shambles. Um, I'm not seeing it with them. So I think it'd be very easy to double team both of his wide receivers and take them both away and say you can't run the ball and we're gonna put a bunch of points up on you. So yeah, so Detroit, keep an eye on Detroit. Keep an eye on Detroit, you know? So that's here nor there. So that's the top five wide receiver cores. But Detroit might be right there. All right, let's go over to my side of the ball. So these are the top five defenses going into the top. Sorry, y'all, got tongue tied. This is the top five defenses projected to go into the 2025 season. We got the Denver Broncos, the Houston Texans, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Minnesota Vikings. Honorable mention definitely has to go towards the Buffalo Bills as well. Now, I will say this. Um, the schemes for Baltimore and Minnesota are phenomenal. But it hasn't hurt Baltimore as much as it's hurt Minnesota. But the lack of having a disruptive pass rusher, you know, or two pass rushers, really has bitten both of these teams in the ass going into looking back at their successes and failures. Like not having that pass rusher has been like what's held them back. Um, I feel like I would love their defenses more if they had them, but their schemes have provided sacks. Like Baltimore is always in that has they've been like in the top three of sack production the last like 3 or 4 years. Uh but you've seen what's happened at a certain point in the playoffs. It's always come. So that's here nor there. But Houston, man, Houston's defense is legit now. I remember the days when the Houston Texans defense was trash. Like they never had good defenses, man. But no, their defense is legit, man. I am a huge fan of the Houston Texans. That defense, um, C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins, they're a good team, man. They're a real good team. We just got to see what they got going on next. All right. So where I want to go next? All right. So this is what I'll do next. I'm gonna do the top five. Now that I did the top five wide receiver groups, I'm gonna tell you who I think are the top five wide receivers going into the 2025 season. Let me just take a look real quick. Okay. Hmm, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right. I got five, and I got like two honorable mentions. My top five wide receivers going into the 2025 season. I got I got Puka Nakua. I got Nico Collins. Don't say nothing about it. Nico Collins is that deal. So I got Puka Nakua, I got Nico Collins, I got I got Tyreek Hill. I think he still is one of the top five. I mean, he's not enough removed from back to back 1,800 yard seasons to come off the list, but he probably would be my number five. Let me just say that. He would be not I know the list came out how it came out. Tyreek Hill probably would be my number five. Uh the Tyreek Hill, Puka Nakua, Nico Collins, Jamar Chase, and Justin Jefferson. And they're both 1A, 1B to me. And how if you're gonna say either one is the best, I'm not gonna argue with you. I don't have an argument against either one. I think they're both phenomenal wide receivers, and it's a pleasure watching both of them. Now, my honorable mentions, um, Brian Thomas Jr., man, coming out of his rookie year, boy, was he balling. Brian Thomas Jr., AJ Brown, AJ Brown, top five, real big top five consideration. Um, And then I'll even say the next two after that. I'll say Amara St. Brown and CD Lamb. A lot of people are putting CD Lamb so high. Listen, I'm not seeing what I need to see from CD Lamb, and to put him that high. And what I mean by that is he's the kind of guy. It was the same argument that I had with Tyreek Hill. There's guys that are right now they might give you 10 receptions, 150 yards, and a touchdown. That is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, that's phenomenal. But you know what's even scarier? That guy that'll have like six catches, 80 yards, and two scores. It's basically half the yards and less catches, but the scores. You got to get the tutties. You see what I'm saying? And his touchdowns are low. I need him to bring his touchdowns up for me to feel like that. And you want to know why people's touchdowns shrink when I mean when you think that they're that good? It's because in the red zone, teams can account for them. They're not red zone threats. They're deep threats. Do you see the difference between that? There's a deep threat, there's a red zone threat, and then there's guys that are both. The top five, they both. You see what I'm saying? And the only reason I'm leaving Tyreek Hill on there is I really do feel. I'm gonna mess myself up. I really do feel like accomplishing 1,800 yard seasons, even if the tutties were a little bit lower, I can't take you off of that. I can't, not yet, not yet. You know what I mean? And I love Devontae Adams because he was right there too. I love Devontae Adams, but just realistically, there's five wide receivers better than him right now, and I just got to live with that reality. Okay, okay, cool. Let's go. So I was just taking notes on what segment that I want to send. So when we give y'all clips, I was like, I felt that. You see what I'm saying? Like I felt that. So we'll leave that there. All right. So now I'm gonna give you my top five pass rushers. Now, this is a stat after quarterback and left tackle, depending on how you feel about it. But I'm making an argument above left tackle. So after quarterback, the pass rusher is the most important thing that you could put on a football field. Okay, football. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Football's not that complicated. Here's what you do: you go get your quarterback, you protect your quarterback, you go get the other team's quarterback. Everything else will add to why all of those three things are happening. That was I just said some shit there. So I'm gonna say it again. The NFL football is not that complicated. You go get your quarterback, you go protect your quarterback, you go get their quarterback. All the rest of the positions are adding to the reasons why those three things are happening. Okay? Teams that do that the best, they go further, they win Super Bowls. We watch it every year. I'm putting that down. I'm putting that down. Mm, that was good. I don't know. You know, it's funny. I don't ever get time to really just think about what I said sometimes. All right. So, without further ado, my top five pass rushers. In no order. Just, you know what I mean, who's just coming off the top of the head. I got Myles Garrett. You know what I mean? I do have Myles Garrett up there. He's not the highest paid wide receiver. He might as well for all the money he's getting. He might as well play some wide receiver too. Top paid defensive end in the league, defensive player. So I got Myles Garrett. I have T.J. Watt. I got Aiden Hutchinson. Oh yeah, Aiden and Aiden Hutchinson might be number one. And I said defensive. This is defensive lineman. So going to get somebody's quarterback. Oh, we got to put Chris Jones in here too. We have to put. Listen, guys, we need way more Chris Jones love. Okay, y'all acting like Chris Jones. It wasn't like 1B the Aaron Donalds 1A when they was playing at the same time. Chris Jones is holding down that Kansas City defense. Okay, that defense is not that talented and has not been. It's been Chris Jones, cornerbacks, and them. So so yeah, Chris Jones is going on there. Um, so who did I say? So I said Miles Garrett. I said T.J. Watt. I said Aiden Hutchinson, Chris Jones. Ooh, and I'm gonna give y'all a surprise one, and I'm gonna give you honorable mentions. Jared Verse of the Los Angeles Rams. So going into the 2025 season, my top pass rushers get to your quarterback, hit your quarterback is Miles Garrett, Cleveland Browns, T.J. Watt, Pittsburgh Steelers, Chris Jones, Kansas City Chiefs, Aiden Hutchinson, Detroit Lions, and Jared Verse, Los Angeles Rams. That's the top five. That's the group. Now with the honorable mentions, we do have some good honorable mentions. Honorable mentions, I have Max Crosby of the Raiders, and Trey Hendrickson um of the Bengals. Those are my honorable mentions to the pass rushers. A lot of good pass rushers right now. I really am a fan of it. But that Jared Verse, man, I'm telling you, he's you keep an eye on him, man. You keep an eye on him. He came in the league fat. I didn't think he was going to be as good as he actually is. Like he's that deal. He's him. Um, but yeah, man, I'm loving it. I'm loving that. I'm loving that. Sorry, just taking notes again. And the reason why I love talking about that is because it goes so under the radar in this NFL. People don't talk about how necessary your pass rushers are. The Eagles are whipping teams' ass because they know I don't even have to blitz to get to you, but I will. But I don't have to. And in key situations, they're not blitzing and their coverage is holding up. So it's really hard to do anything with them. So that's that. Keep them there. Okay. And we're going to finish this up with the top five wide receivers. I already talked about them. We're talking about the top five quarterbacks in the NFL. I might switch it to the next five too. But let me think about it. Let me think if I can organize it properly. But and the only reason I'm doing it is because the top four is really easy. So the top four wide receivers in I keep saying wide receivers. The top four quarterbacks in the NFL are Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes. There's really no debate against that. A lot of people might have a debate with Joe Burrow. I'm not really one of them people. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love me some Joe Burrow. But for me, number five, I don't see how you don't put Jalen Hurts at number five. And I know some people will say he's inconsistent, and consistency is a quarterback trait. Do not get me wrong. But the man been to two Super Bowls, and he played better than Patrick Mahomes in both Super Bowls. And Patrick Mahomes, to me, is the best quarterback I've ever seen. He's the best. I'm not saying he's the greatest. He's got to see what let's see what happens with the rest of his career. But I'm talking about just best, put it on the field. I mean, Patrick Mahomes has never not been to the AFC Championship game. He's never, since he started, he's never not been to the AFC Championship game, and we in year seven now. He just lives there. So to outplay a guy like that in two consecutive, like you saw him, you played better than him, you lost, you came back, played better than him again, y'all won. And you put it on him. So yeah, Jalen Hurts, man, y'all gotta give Jalen Hurts a little more love. It might just be me. I just don't feel like he gets the love he deserves. So my top five quarterbacks are Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia Eagles, Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens, Josh Allen, your MVP, Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills, and Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. Now the reason why I think I could get to 10 is because there's some honorable mentions that I think are we need to talk more about. So let's just talk about it. So let me think of the honorable mentions. So the honorable mentions, I got Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, CJ Stroud. Off the top of my head, that those are honorable mentions right there. So now we at eight, right? We at eight. So and then I think then you still have Matthew Stafford, you still got Dak, you still have I'm not a Brock Purdy guy. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not a Brock Purdy guy. Uh, so I said Stafford. So let's go to the next five. Let's start the list with the next five. I'm putting Stafford on the next five. Absolutely. Matthew Stafford, Jaden Daniels, Jordan Love, CJ Stroud. Yes, I can give y'all a top 10. Then I'm gonna go Jared Goff. Y'all can say what y'all want. Listen, Dak, he's not a top 10 quarterback to me. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. He's good. He's on that fringe, but would I take Jared Goff or Dak Prescott right now? Yeah, I'd probably go Jared Goff, especially for the money. Dak is the highest paid player in the NFL. He gets $60 million a year. That's a problem on his roster. Their roster can't get what they need now. I don't know how to I can't feel bad for him because he gets $60 million a year. You see what I'm saying? But do I think talent for talent? It's debatable. It's debatable. I'm going in. So let's do that. Let me just give you my top 10 real quick. So I'm going Jared Goff at 10. I'm going I'll give you Stafford at 9. Stafford at 9. Then I'm going to give you, and this is only because this is his rookie year. He came off his rookie year. I need to see him do it again. Jaden Daniels at 8. But that was some impressive shit. But you got to do it again. So Jaden Daniels. Then I would go Jordan Love. Then I'd go CJ Stroud. Then I would go, yep, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. That's 10. So I got y'all to 10. I wasn't even prepared to give y'all 10. I was only going to give you the 5, but I said with quarterback 5 is really easy. So so I gave you 10. I gave you 10. And I was only supposed to give you 5. What do y'all want from me? Okay? So, now we just got to see from here. We got to see who's going to show up and show out and show some things wrong. You know, there's people that I didn't even mention that you're gonna be like, how do you not mention them? I don't believe in them like I believe in the guys I just named. That's why, because I don't believe in them. So that's here nor there. But guys, this has been fun. This has been fun. I didn't think when I said I was gonna do a topic of all top fives, I was like, I wonder how much I could talk about that. I talked more than I thought I was going to talk. I didn't even have my water, no tea. Y'all know y'all got me. You got your boy over here drinking healthier stuff and stuff like that. So I didn't even take a break. I didn't even take a break to do anything. This was a good topic. So once again, guys, you can catch our full episodes on Spotify and YouTube. You catch our reels on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We all over the place. And I love our time together. And I'm sorry to tell y'all. But unfortunately, cuz you don't know football. I'm your boy Reek. Like Martin said, I'ma see you when I see you. Peace.